the Spanish Grand Prix in 2022. It's lights out and away we go, and it's a fairly even start. Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen, but Verstappen is now coming back, and Leclerc who moves over to cut him off. Carlos Sainz has already been passed by George Russell. Charles Leclerc has the lead from Verstappen. George Russell gets tagged, but manages to stay on the track. Sergio Perez just clipping his rear tyres, and there's Lewis Hamilton on the inside, battling away with Carlos Sainz. Does the inside work out well for the Mercedes as we head down towards turn 4? No, Sainz is ahead there of Hamilton, and now coming round the outside and making contact is Kevin Magnussen, and Magnussen goes off to the gravel in the Haas. Lewis Hamilton survives, but has he got damage on his Mercedes? He's going very, very slowly around turn 5. And this is Hamilton's pit stop. Soft tyres going on for Hamilton, who's back out into the pit lane.
So Lewis, a little bit of understeer on the corner. I think the stewards are going to say that's a racing incident at the start of a Grand Prix. Kevin is perfectly within his rights to try to go round the outside.
Lewis just rambling. He knew what he was doing.
Sebastian Vettel is looking in his mirrors to his left-hand side to see where Fernando Alonso is. He's in 14th place at the moment. He might not be, as he get into turn 1, and he was almost on the grass. Dramatic stuff from Fernando Alonso, and into the gravel goes Carlos Sainz, and there'll be no cheers for that. He's down in 6th place, and at turn 4, Carlos Sainz has had a moment, rejoins the racetrack, but he has lost places as he tumbles down the order, and not for the first time this season.
Let's have a look and see what happens here.
On his own.
That's very similar tyre speed to what happened to Leclerc in first part of Q3 yesterday, like a pendulum effect.
No, that was just the tires, take the tires.
And into the gravel goes Max Verstappen. Verstappen at turn 4, now passed by Russell and his teammate Perez. Verstappen was running in 2nd place, becomes the 2nd car in this race to just go off at turn 4, running on its own.
I'm assuming it's going to be a carbon copy of what happened. Yeah, just a big lazy slide.
Yeah.
Max info. The DRS flap did not open last lap. Keep trying.
Russell and Verstappen coming into the pits now. And the Red Bull guys get to work. Who's come out with a quicker pit stop? 2.7 seconds stationary for Russell, 2.6 seconds stationary for Max Verstappen. Just see as he comes out of that final corner.
Oh, it went straight down again.
Shots again.
Yeah. And this is playing beautifully into Ferrari's hands, isn't it? With Perez now pitting.
And here is Charles Leclerc for his pit stop. Now, they can take an age. He's got that big a gap. They won't want to take an age, and they didn't take an age. DRS activated. Extra pace, accelerating into turn 1. Max Verstappen, is he past George Russell? George Russell squeezes through on the inside. Verstappen tries to fight him back. Now into turn 3. Russell ahead by half a car length. Going round the outside of turn 3. Verstappen leaves the track. Russell still ahead on the run down into turn 4. We've not seen too much between these two in terms of attack and defence before, but I am one that wants to see much, much more.
Get me Max out of the way so I overtake quickly.
Yeah,
Well, I think they need to, don't they?
Yeah.
let's wait for 2 seconds for now. We're in a different race.
Why don't you let me by? I have very fresh tires. I can get by quickly.
So that's a Ferrari going very slowly.
That's Charles Leclerc.
And that's Charles
going
Leclerc.
very slowly.
No! What happened? What happened? Lost power.
A loss of power, a race that was going absolutely splendidly for him, and he is out of the race. George Russell crosses the line. Max Verstappen's DRS is working. This is now a battle for the lead, and George Russell stays in the lead. George Russell will be defending from Sergio Perez as Verstappen now makes his 2nd stop of the race.
And this is the closest yet Perez has been.
Yes, it is. And he's only got a couple of car lengths as George Russell moves over to the inside. And now Sergio Perez manages to clear that Mercedes and make his way into the lead of this race. Verstappen just pitted onto the soft compound tyre, absolutely flying here, trying to go around the outside at turn 12. Don't see very many overtakes there. Verstappen had so much grip coming out of turn 11. Beautiful move. And George Russell pits, so he's not going to get the chance to go round Max Verstappen. Mercedes left it until right at the last moment before they could bring George Russell in and basically avoid any unnecessary wheel-to-wheel action and give him his second pit stop. Sergio Perez is now pitting, so he's not on a one-stop strategy. Red Bull have switched that around, if ever that was the plan, meaning tyres going on and out he comes.
This has certainly been a pretty lively Spanish Grand Prix, hasn't it? And there's a young man who won it.
He did, 10 years on. So this should be the final pit stop for Max Verstappen in this race.
Okay, you want a different strategy to Max? If he's quicker, we let him through.
That's very unfair, but okay.
Yeah, let him through now.
Yes.
Thank you, mate.
Mercedes obviously thinking, best thing to do here, give us some fresher tyres for the end of the race and a nice fresh set of soft compound tyres.
You can see obviously Red Bull are covering what Mercedes have done just to make sure they've got fresh tyres, maybe go for the fastest lap.
Sainz is going to be first to have a go then at Valtteri. Bottas gets past him very nicely going into turn 1. Hamilton has to slot behind the Alfa Romeo and just back out a little bit going into turn 2. Hamilton now fancies his chances to go around the outside of turn 3 and does so. Hamilton moves up to 5th. Carlos Sainz moves up into 4th place. Carlos Sainz just trying to break the toe somewhat as they pass the main grandstand, but he's not broken it enough as Lewis Hamilton moves to the outside of the track and then swoops round in front of Carlos Sainz and up into 4th place.
So we do as much lift and coast as possible. This is a DNF risk. So Lewis, if we have to give up the place, then we'll have to do that to avoid full load. This is a DNF risk.
And Lewis then, look at this.
He's a
Wow.
sitting duck down the straight. Carlos Sainz is all over him. Listen to that cheer. It has been very hot in the cockpit at times. The celebrations, though, will very much be welcomed by Max Verstappen and Red Bull as Verstappen wins the Spanish Grand Prix. And his teammate Sergio Perez will come home to claim 2nd place and the fastest lap. It's a 1-2 for Red Bull. Russell takes his 2nd podium place of the season, finishes 3rd for Mercedes. So the weekend where Max Verstappen wins for a 24th time and takes the lead, Martin Brundle, of the championship. And a championship lead after the Australian Grand Prix was what, 46 points for Charles Leclerc? How quickly things have changed.
The reliability issue today has really turned the championship around. So Verstappen leads by 6 points and Red Bull lead by 26 points over Ferrari in the constructors.